Hello, everyone. This is Chrissy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here and joining us. I do have the chat enabled, so if you want to go ahead, let me know if you can hear me. And of course, you can introduce yourself and tell me where you're from. I am going to start sharing my screen here. So go ahead and feel free to let me know where you're at. I'm in Michigan. Don't know if any of you are near me. I know we have people from all over. Yes, you are only seeing my avatar right now. I do not have my camera turned on. I am still getting my screen share up and all of that good stuff. I'm going to turn my camera on for a moment. And then when we dive in, I'm going to turn it off again. Now, I am going to take questions and answers. I am not going to be able to keep an eye on my chat while I'm doing the presentation, so you can write in your questions, but I won't be able to get to them until after our talk is over. Okay. Well, welcome Jennifer and Jacob and Diane and Tammy. Oh, another Michigan person. Awesome. Oh, wow. We have an Australian. We have a Texan. Awesome, awesome. Glad you are here. Okay. So I am going to enter full screen mode here. And that way the slides will be bigger for you guys. So you should be seeing that. You should be seeing Working with Brands. We are going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Now, I am recording this. I understand we have a lot of different time zones going on here. So if you can only stay on for a portion and you need to go, I understand there will be a recording. However, if you can make it through with me through the end, I will be taking your questions. And if we have some interest and some time, if people want to do like some quick website reviews or social media reviews, we can do that as well, because there are certain things that you can do with your website and your social media to make yourself stand out more, make yourself more attractive to brands, all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so that's me. I'm Chrissy. I started my website indiebizchicks.com in 2007, and I have been working with brands ever since. I have worked with brands like Microsoft, Chevy, OfficeMax, Staples, Verizon, and many, many more. I've even gotten a free car from Chevy, and I was paid. I was literally given money to drive around in this thing and document my adventures. And then after that portion ended, they retained my services, and I was paid to post on Facebook and do giveaways. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to work with brands, and we are going to talk about those. So whatever questions you have, like I said, pop them in the chat, and if I don't cover them during the presentation, once I'm through, then I'll go through all of your questions. So you don't need a huge following to get started. Now I mentioned that I started my website in 2007, and that's indiebizchicks.com. Now, I will tell you that I live in Michigan, and I like to go to Chicago. It's a few hours away. And just for kicks, I was doing some keyword research on some business stuff. I had finished. I had my keyword tool open, and so I did a search on Chicago. And I saw that the phrase "fun things to do in Chicago" was getting like over 12,000 hits a month. People were searching for that. And I'm like, okay, is there a website? The website didn't exist. The domain was available. So I went on Instagram. the handle, Fun Things to Do in Chicago, was open. So I quickly grabbed the Instagram handle and I grabbed the domain and I just put up a website. Okay. I only have like 360 followers right now on Instagram. You can look that up. Maybe it's a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit less. But it's Fun Things to Do in Chicago. But I've had pictures where I've gotten over 450 likes on an Instagram post, okay? And I'm just getting started. This is not business related at all. If you go to funthingstodoinchicago.com, you will see that the website is up, but I just have dummy text in there right now because I just got the layout done and now I'm going to be entering content. So I'm just getting started. I've got followers. I'm getting a lot of likes on Instagram posts, and I've been contacted by brands to see if I'd like to work with them. And this is, like I said, it's a whole new avenue, from what I'm known for. So if I can do this in a matter of weeks, and it's not dependent on Indie Biz Chicks, okay? This is totally separate. My people from Indie Biz Chicks are not going to the Chicago website. This is totally separate. So if I can do this, you can do this. And I'm going to teach you how. So I'm going to give you a lot of great info, but I'm going to be upfront. I do have a program where I go into a lot more depth and a lot more detail, and I'm going to tell you about it at the end of the class. And I do have a special 50% off coupon and some really cool bonus offers for you if you want to continue working with me. But I'm going to be very upfront and let you know that I am going to offer that to you at the end of this class. This class is still going to have a lot of great info. You can take the info and you can certainly start working with brands, because what I'm giving you, I didn't know anything when I got started, and I'm telling you a ton of tips in this class. So you're going to be ahead of the game where I was when I started in 2007. But if you want to work with me and you want to know a lot more info, and I mean step-by-step info, then you are going to want to join me for my program, because I have an offer for you that, seriously, 50% off plus bonuses that I have not shared with anyone else. So let's go ahead and let's talk about why you should work with brands. Well, you can get paid to do things that you would do anyway, like create content and grow your list. And who doesn't want to do that, right? I mean, that's what you need to do for your business anyway. And even if brands aren't going to be like the main bread and butter of your business, because they're not for me, my main bread and butter is creating programs and teaching people how to make info products and things like that. Working with brands is just like a side hustle, basically, that gives me more income. And it can be the same for you. And I mean, it can work for any type of business. And you're going to be creating content and growing your list anyway, because those are the two foundations of your business. So why not add working with brands in there and making some extra money while you're at it? So here are some different ways that you can choose to work with brands. You can do review posts and videos, literally where you review a product and you talk about what you like, what you don't like. You can do demonstration posts and videos, and that could be anything from showing people how to use the software to showing people how to apply makeup. I mean, beauty bloggers are really popular right now on YouTube. And the unboxing videos, those again are very, very popular. People buy those subscription boxes and they just make videos of them opening them and showing people what they get every month. Or even little kids, I mean, they're making millions of dollars playing with toys on YouTube. I mean, they just unbox a toy, show everybody what they got, and they're making money. The how-to post. It doesn't really have to be about a product, but if you mention the product in there, for example, and this is a real life example because I met this lady at the conference and she was talking that she did this. So she worked with Tide, and she had little kids. They were some boys, and they got into some mud or whatever. And she just talked about stain removal, and she mentioned Tide in there, and she did use one of those Tide sticks, and she got paid by Tide to do that post. It's just a how-to post, how to get rid of a stain. She mentioned a product, and she got paid. You can also get paid just to do giveaways. And that is where you can really start growing your list. Because if people have to opt into your list and then they get entered into the giveaway by doing that, you can really grow your list fast. Now, you're only limited by your creativity. You can think of other ways that you might want to work with brands. If you wanted to go to a conference, you can get sponsored. You can find someone to sponsor you to go to that conference. Maybe you give away some of the product. Now, you can't really do it at the conference because that's like piggybacking on the conference, but you can go to a coffee shop or something like that where you have a demo and maybe you have some giveaways of the product, or however the product or the brand wants to work with you in that capacity. But there's lots of people who do that. Maybe you want to go on a road trip. Find a brand who will sponsor that. There's lots of different ways to work with brands, and you just have to be creative and think of how you can do it. And I mean, the sky really is the limit. Okay, so you have to let people know it's sponsored. It's just like affiliate marketing. There's a law, and you have to let people know. So you may have noticed that if you're on, let's say, Instagram or Twitter or whatever, they might be like hashtag sponsored or hashtag ad or something like that. If it's a blog post, at the end of the blog post, it may say this post is sponsored by blah, blah, blah company. And there are also times where you will see people clarify that it's not a sponsored post. If they're doing a video or something, they may say, I bought this lipstick on my own. It is not a sponsored post. I just wanted to try it. So there are people that not only clarify when it is a sponsored post, but there's also people who clarify that it's not a sponsored post. So, or video or what have you. But if it is sponsored, you do have to let people know that is the law. And like I said, if you have ever done affiliate marketing, you are used to doing that already. So here are some tips for your website. Now, you want to have a good looking website, okay? You need it to look good. It doesn't have to be some fancy, epic Taj Mahal website, but you do want it to be a good looking website. If it looks like a third grader created it, a brand or sponsor isn't probably going to want to work with you. Even if you want to be a social media influencer, like even if you don't really want to be making blog posts or making videos, if you only want to do Instagram posts, I'm still encouraging you to have a good looking website, even if it's just like a few pages, your home page, your about page, and your contact page. You need a website. You need somewhere to send people. And pro tip, you want to be growing your email list because likes don't pay the bills, okay? If you have an email list, you can stay in contact with people. You can have thousands, millions, whatever followers on social media, but here's the deal. You don't own social media. Your posts are only going to get shown to a fraction of those people unless you pay for them to be shown, unless you're going to pay for advertising. And so you have no control, really, of who sees your posts. And the algorithm changes all the time. And I have seen that with my own stuff on Instagram. I can use the exact same hashtags on something posted 2 days apart, and one will get 10 times more likes than the other, okay? And that's because Instagram's pushing it out to more people. That's their thing. I have no control over it. So you do want to have a newsletter. You want to have a mailing list. And that way you can let people know when you have a new video, a new post, a new whatever, because the more people that see it, and you tell the brand how many people see it, and we'll talk about reporting later on in this, but that lets them know that it is worth their time and their money to work with you because you're delivering results. And so you want to have an email list so you can stay in contact with people, even if you think you just want to be a social media influencer. So you do want to have a website that has a nice looking layout and that it's easy to navigate, complementary colors. You don't want to have, hot pink and orange writing or something like that that's going to give people a headache. You want it to be an easier to read font. And you do want to have a lot of white space because people read stuff differently online than they read something that's a physical book or physical magazine or whatnot. So you need to have a lot of white space because people blink less and it's just easier on the eyes and it makes it look less daunting. You also want to put your real name and how to contact you, okay? And I've seen this so many times where I have actually been working with a business owner who wants to work with a blogger and have the blogger, post a review post about their product or whatever, and I'm helping them find some potential bloggers, and I go to the blog and, it's, I don't know, cupcakesandtea.com or whatever, and I'm not saying that it is, I'm just throwing that out there. But all I have is cupcakestea.com. I don't have their actual name. I don't know anything about them, and I don't want to start an email that says, "Hi, Cupcakes and Tea." I want to start an email that says, "Hi, Sally," or "Hi, Sarah," or whoever your name is. So make sure you have your real name, how to contact you, and I forgot to put it on this slide, but you want to have a real picture of you. You want to be a real person. Brands want to work with someone that's a real person, not just a faceless website. So even if it's out of your comfort zone, get over it, put a picture of yourself up there. And you want to show them that you're serious. Brands want to work with you because you're the new media. In the past, a company wanted to get in front of a person, they would buy ads in the newspaper, ads on the radio, ads on TV. But now the newspaper industry and the magazine industry has really dwindled. People don't really have to listen to radio anymore because there's Sirius XM, there's all the streaming services like Pandora and Amazon Music, Spotify, all of that stuff. And yes, some, like Pandora has ads and stuff, but not all Pandora listeners hear the ads because if you have, the Plus subscription or whatever where you're paying $5 a month, you don't hear ads. So it's getting less and less. There's just less and less opportunities for brands to reach people through traditional media. Even with TV, there's DVRs and there's streaming services. People can fast forward through commercials if it's on their DVR. And if they don't even subscribe to cable, they're not watching local channels. If they're just watching Netflix or Hulu and they don't have the ads on Hulu, they're not seeing any ads. So like I said, there's just less and less opportunities in the traditional sense. And so they're looking at the new media. And if you have a website or a podcast or a YouTube channel, or if you're big on social media, you are the new media. And so they want to work with you. But you have to show them that you can reach the audience they want to get in front of. And so you need to be creating good content. The content can be anything. It can be a blog post. It can be your social media post. It can be a YouTube video. It can be a podcast. It's some kind of content. So you want to be creating good content on a regular basis, and you do want to be active on social media. Now, I'm not saying you have to be active on every single type of social media. If you just want to be active on Instagram, that's cool. If you want to be active on Twitter, great. If you want to be active on Facebook, that's fine. You don't have to be active on everything, but you have to show up somewhere so that these brands know that you are talking to people and people care about what you have to say. Now, you can create a one sheet that lists your stats, and this is like your website visitors, the size of your mailing list, your social media followers. Obviously, there's tools out there. Anyone can see your social media followers just by typing in your social media channels. But there are tools out there where they can, get a really good guesstimate of your website traffic and the size of your mailing list. But it's okay to have a one sheet that says all that stuff, and that way you can give it to brands. You can even have it just posted on your website for people to download. But that's not a bad idea to have that. And then how do you actually break in, okay? So you want to start building relationships with PR people and brands. And I'm going to stress that a lot of the time, you're not really working with a brand, you're working with a PR person. And they may not even work for the company. Now, I'm just going to throw Quaker oatmeal out there. It's just something that was on the top of my head. you may not actually work with someone who works for Quaker Oatmeal, okay? You may work with 123publicity.com, and they're the publicity people that Quaker hires. And so you want to know PR people, and you want to be talking to brands. And so you can find them on social media, you can attend conferences. There's, all types of conferences out there, and a lot of times they have not event space, but they have, space where these brands can set up tables and they can talk to people. They give out samples. And so again, a lot of time it's PR people that are actually working these tables. So you get their card, you introduce yourself, and you stay in contact with them. So you can follow up. Like I said, follow them on social media, email them, all that good stuff. You can talk about the brands that you like and that you would like to work with in your content now for free. You don't have to wait to get hired by them. You can start talking about them now. And when you do that, you're going to be promoting that on social media, and you tag the brand in the post. And that gets you on their radar. They're like, oh, hey, look, Sally really is talking about us a lot. Maybe we should see if we can work together somehow. If you want to do giveaways, you can start doing them on your own right now. You can go to the local store, look at the clearance rack, and see what's on clearance, and you can start buying stuff right now and giving it away on your site. You don't have to wait for a brand to hire you to do it. And so whatever your type of business is, whatever your niche is, think about how you could incorporate a giveaway. So for me, I talk more about business stuff. So if I wanted to give away like a month or 3 months or whatever of, let's say, the paid version of Canva, I can just do that on my own. I don't have to contact Canva to see if they want to partner. Yes, of course I could, but if you're brand new and you don't have any history of working with a brand, you can just start on your own and you promote that, and eventually brands are going to take notice. Now here's a pro tip. If you're going to do a giveaway, you should use King Sumo. There is a free version. There are paid versions, but the free version works fine. And that's going to help you with your giveaway going viral. Because what happens is you can assign points to things like posting on Facebook or sharing it on Twitter or whatever. So, them just giving you their name and email address, that could be worth 1 entry. But then it's 5 extra entries if you share it on Facebook, or 10 extra entries if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or whatever. And you can assign this stuff yourself, so you can classify, what's worth more points. And you can say that people can share every single day for more entries. And then King Sumo handles all of that. So they'll know if Sally posted on Twitter 5 times, and each time is worth 5 entries. So they'll add her in there, for the 25 extra times. And then at the end of that giveaway, you don't have to say, oh my gosh, how many entries does Sally have? How many entries does Sarah have? King Sumo takes care of all of that. So you just pick your winner. But of course, if they're sharing it, that's just going to help it go viral, because their followers are going to see it. And then if they want 5 or 10 extra entries, then they're going to share it, and so forth. And so, like I said, there are some paid versions, but you can use the free version of King Sumo, and you can get all of those awesome benefits. If we're going to do a giveaway, might as well make it go viral. So you can reach out to the brands that you want to work with. You don't have to be afraid of it. It's totally normal. You don't have to sit there and wait for them to notice you. It's, not like high school where you're like, oh, I want to ask this person out, but I'm afraid. Just go ahead, approach the brand, let them know you want to start working with them. Send them an email. You can include some information about yourself and why you would be a good fit. That's always how you want to start it out, because everyone in the world, it's like they want to know what's in it for them. So a brand wants to know what's in it for them. Why should they want to work with you? So tell them why you would be a good fit. If you are, reaching out to, let's say, a fitness brand, and you are a fitness blogger and you have X amount of followers and blah, 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 let them know. Like, go ahead, talk yourself up. It's okay. toot your own horn. Now, you do want to include a few ideas on how you want to work together, okay? You don't want to send an email that says, "Hi, I'd like to work with you," and sign it, Sally Jones. Okay? How do you want to work with me, Sally Jones? You're putting all the work on them. They have to come up with all the creative ideas. You should email them a few different ways. If you want to make a fitness video, a free fitness video, and put it on YouTube where you talk about the leggings or the weights or the shake or the whatever it is, let them know. Or if you want to do a review post, or if you want to do a giveaway, or you want to do a whatever, if you want to do a how-to post that talks about, like I said earlier in the video, where a lady had 3 kids and they got into mud and she was going to use Tide to get it out anyway. Go ahead and contact Tide and let them know, hey, I'm using a Tide stick. It got the stain out. I'd like to make a post about it. Would you like to sponsor it? Go ahead and contact these brands and let them know how you'd like to work together. Now, yes, I do want you to have a few ideas so you're not just sending a blank email that says, "Hi, I'd like to work with you." Have a few ideas, but also be open to their suggestions, okay? Because they may have certain ways that they want to be promoting themselves. And so I want you to be open to what they have to say. If they only want to do videos, and your idea was doing a giveaway post, but they really want you to do a video, be open to that. Now, don't be upset if they say no. It might not be in their budget, honestly, especially if you're working with a smaller brand. It might not be in their budget right now. They may already have a contract with someone else, okay? So you never know. They may have already just contacted another blogger or a YouTuber or Instagrammer and had them sign a contract, and they just can't work with you at the moment. Now, a no today doesn't mean they won't contact you in the future, okay? So go ahead, send some emails. Don't be upset if you get a no. It's not a no forever. Follow up with them. Keep letting them know you're a fan and you want to work with them. You may eventually get a yes. So you want to stay friendly with PR people because PR people are getting new accounts all the time. So you may go to a conference and you may meet Sally, the PR person, and then you follow up with her and say, "Oh, you represent XYZ. I'd really like to work with them. Here are some ideas." And Sally may say, "You know what, I can't really do that right now." But then next month, she's working with ABC company and she's like, "Hey, you'd be a great fit. Would you like to collaborate on this, or that?" Okay? PR people, they get new accounts all the time, and they also tend to switch jobs a lot. So they go to different firms. And so they may represent XYZ company today, but tomorrow they're going to represent a whole new 25 different companies, okay? So you want to stay friendly with the PR people because that can really lead to a lot of jobs. So when you get a yes, you want to be a professional. If they say that they want you to write a post or make a video or whatever, and they want it posted by, July 1st or whatever, meet that time frame. So if you are missing deadlines and you're not really doing what they ask, you're not going to get hired again, okay? And you go the extra step to promote the post or video on social. They may ask you to please promote it 3 times. Well, go the extra step and promote it 10 times and tag the brand so they know that you're working your butt off for them. And do the extra work of creating a report for them. This could be the number of clicks on the blog post or video from the email that you sent your list, or it's the number of posts or video views or social media interactions or retweets or replies or people asking questions, your followers asking questions and asking you to follow up and give some more information. Include a report like a week after the post or video or whatever has been up, and let this brand know that your people are interested and that there's this kind of a reaction, because that's going to make them want to work with you again, It shows them you are reaching the people that they want to be in front of, and these people have questions and answers, and they want to know more. So don't be afraid to follow up. You can contact the PR person or the brand, and you can let them know that you'd like to work with them again. And like I said, especially if it's a PR person, they represent a number of companies. And, if you work with them on one company and you do an awesome job, then they may think that you're a great fit for this company. And when that company wants to work with someone, they're going to say, oh, you should really work with this person. They went above and beyond, and we got such great results, and they were on time and professional and blah, blah, blah. Okay? So follow up and let them know that you'd really like to work with them again. So if you want to learn more, I'm going to tell you about my program. Now, I am going to go through the questions and answers, but I want to tell you about the program now because I'm going to have a special bonus that's only going to be available while I'm doing the questions and answers. I want to tell you about this now. So my new program is called Watch, Learn, and Earn, and you're literally going to watch me step by step build out this whole Chicago website that I told you about when I was doing research, and I found the phrase fun things to do in Chicago was getting a lot of searches. So I've already built out the website. So I've already made those videos, and there's like 17 videos showing you how to set up WordPress, how to organize your content. I show you how to create home pages within just the WordPress widgets, plus a page builder, plus lead pages. Show you everything step by step. And I'm also going to show you how to start creating the content, how to do keyword research. I've already filmed that video because I showed you how I found the phrase fun things to do in Chicago and saw that it was getting 12,000 searches a month. I'm going to start a podcast to promote this website, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to be promoting myself on social media as I create the content and the podcast. I've already got interviews lined up with people that have mega followings on Instagram, okay? So I'm showing you all of this step by step, and I'm going to show you how I start to reach out to brands, everything, the emails that I send, and you're going to get all of the templates, and you're going to get all of this stuff. So that's the program. It's everything. It's step by step. And if you join me today, I have a $100 coupon for you, and I got some awesome bonuses. So if you want to learn more, you can go to indiebizchicks.com/WLE. Okay, that's going to take you to the sales page, and you can save $100 with the coupon code CHI100. That's all caps for CHI100. And here is the fast action bonus. If you join me while I'm still doing the questions and answers tonight, you'll get 3 30-minute one-on-one coaching sessions with me, and you can use them in July, August, and September. If you want to use them once a week, that's fine. You can use your 3 calls in a 3-week period. If you want to do it once a month, that's fine. And we can go through whatever, and I'll be there with you one-on-one. So if you need help trying to figure out which brands to work with, or what to say in the emails, or how to promote your content, or whatever, we can go through all of that stuff, and I'll be working with you one-on-one. But that's only if you join the program while I'm still doing the questions and answers tonight. Now, the $100 coupon, that's going to be good until Friday, okay? So it's normally $197 to join. You can join for just $97 with that coupon code, and you can use that up until Friday. But the 3 one-on-one coaching calls, that's going to end, that offer is going to end when we get off doing the questions and answers tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going through the questions and answers. I am going to just, I know that we've already had some come in, so I'm going to start with what we have here. And if you have a question, go ahead, pop it in the chat while I go through. Okay, so I'm going back through the chat here. Okay, so Jen says she loves Chicago. I know, I hear you, sister. I love it too. Okay, so she says, how do you prevent the relationship from being one and done? I have worked on some great campaigns, but never on multiple projects with a tourism board or brand. How do you build that relationship with them via email, and how do you follow up after your campaign to increase the probability of working with them again? I send analytics of the campaign a few months after, but no one really seems to care. Well, I find that people do care. So that is exactly what I suggested. I find that people are really curious about that. They want to know, if the money is well spent. So maybe the people that you're working with are not as experienced. Maybe they're not. And I don't really know who you're working with, but if they are an established PR company and they're used to working with people, they want to know that stuff. And so it might be that it's a smaller agency, or if it's just a tourism board, if it's just like a few people from the local town, they may not be experienced in all of that stuff. But that still doesn't mean you shouldn't send it. Maybe you need to explain why it's so important. But yeah, the follow-up there is key. And especially when you are working with established PR people, like if you're working with someone that's in New York City or something like that, they know that they're working. I mean, they are PR people that are professionals. So yeah, staying in contact with them can certainly lead to more and more jobs. So if it is, like I said, if it's a smaller, your local townspeople on a tourism board, they may not be as well versed in the whole online marketing thing. But if you're working with a major brand or PR company, like if you want to work with Chevy and get a free car, yeah, you need to follow up and you need to show them that you're worth your weight. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. All right, so this is from Magda. I hope I'm pronouncing your name the right way. So why would brands pay me to talk about their brand if I'm already talking about it for free? Because it's going to be in a different way. For example, if you just mention on Twitter or Instagram, oh, I bought some Quaker oatmeal today. I really like it. That's great. Okay, you like it. Tag Quaker oatmeal. Let them know you're talking about them. But that's a lot different than writing a whole review post or doing a video where you have a blind taste test with your kids or your friends or whoever, and they're going to choose between Quaker oatmeal and I don't even know who else makes oatmeal, store brand oatmeal, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff off the top of my head. So it is a lot different. You can get more in depth when you are being paid, when you're being sponsored. So talking about brands, letting them know you like them, that's great. But actually going in depth and doing more creative work, more engaging work, the stuff that a whole post or a video that's just devoted to this product or brand, that is a lot different than just mentioning them. Let's see. Z wants to have access to the slides. You don't get the slides, but you do get the recording, so you can watch the recording again. And then Jen says, does anyone else get those vague DMs on Instagram that ask to collab or be an influencer, and then you go back and forth for 25 messages and never get to the point? Yeah, that's not worth your time. And like I said, it is a pet peeve if somebody doesn't know how they want to work with you. And a lot of that stuff is just junk. The stuff that comes off Instagram, and it's, Shelly's faux tan spray or something like that, they're not a major company or a major brand. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work with small business owners, because there are small business owners that are legit, okay? They are. But if it's someone who doesn't have a plan in place, I don't want to work with that company. And that is how companies feel about bloggers or social media influencers or YouTubers who don't have a plan in place. That's why when you contact someone, you do want to give them some ideas and something to work with, and they know you're serious, and you can start the conversation going. Okay. Oh, yep. And then Deanna says serious brands will email you. That is correct. They will. People are just kind of commenting about that they're not really taking that stuff seriously. So what should you charge for a sponsored post? That was Tammy's question. And that is going to vary depending on the size of your audience and the size of the company that you're working with. For example, and there's lots of different ways to get paid. For example, I have a link that I can use like at Hilton or Holiday Inn, any of that family chain of hotels where I get a special discount because it's a press media link. Okay. So I can just tell them where I'm going. I use this little website. I put in, I use the special link and I get the discount. Okay. And so that's not necessarily being paid hard cash, but it's a discount that goes back in my pocket. Okay. So that's cool. If you are a travel blogger, you may email a hotel and ask for a lower rate or a free stay, and that's your payment. And you will take pictures of the room and post it on social media. You'll do a review post, all of that good stuff, and your payment is the free or discounted hotel stay. Same thing with meals or Broadway tickets or whatever. You could contact a theater and you could say, hey, I'm going to be in New York or Toronto or Chicago or whatever these big cities are that have theaters. And you say, I would love to attend a show and I will promote it and blah, blah, blah. So going there and doing that for free. Going to the spa, that's something you can do anywhere. Everyone has spas. And a free pedicure or a free massage could be your form of payment, okay? But if you're talking about the full hard cash, how much you charge is going to be different. And so if you are just starting out and you are like, hey, I have, 3 or 4 people on my email list, and I have 25 followers on Instagram, that doesn't mean you can't get a sponsored post, okay? You can still get a sponsored post, and you're a micro influencer, and you're still influencing people. There are people following you and listening to you, but it's not a huge list and it's not a huge following. So you're not going to get paid $1,000. You might get paid $25. You might get paid $100. If you are working with someone who is a smaller business, and I have helped small business owners find bloggers to do reviews on their products or services, and maybe the post was like $100 or something like that, but it's because it's a small business owner, and we're not talking about Pepsi. Pepsi might pay you really good. You might get a really nice paycheck if you have a large following and you can show them that you have X amount of website visitors and you have X amount of people on your mailing list and X amount of YouTube subscribers, and you're just telling them that you're going to make a video and it's going to go out on YouTube. You're going to email your list, and then you're going to post a clip on Instagram, like a little clip, and tell people to go to your YouTube channel to watch the full video, whatever. So you can, I have gotten paid $750 for a post before. And I've also gotten paid, $75. So it's a big window, and it just depends a lot on the brand and how big they are and what kind of budget they have. And so if someone contacts you and they say, hey, I'd like to work with you, but I can only afford $25 or $50, you don't have to take it. And if you feel that's beneath you, you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if you want it and it's going to help it's going to help other people show that you work with brands, because you don't have to tell people, you don't have to go and tell Pepsi, listen, I worked with Sally last week and she only gave me $25. You don't have to disclose that to Pepsi. If Pepsi contacts you the next week and says, hey, I'd like to pay you $750, Don't say, well, you know what, I only charged Sally $25 last week. I don't know if I'm comfortable charging $750. Take the $750, you know? So it's what to charge really just depends. So I know that I didn't answer your question and, the black and white frame that you probably wanted, but that there isn't really a black and white answer. It's a really great answer. So Z is asking, where do I enter the discount code? I think you mean for the hotel room, and there's a special link that I go to that I got for people that are in the media and the press. And so Tammy says, I had a small home-based company, send me $75 a product for a post and share it on my social media. Was that a smart choice, or should I have held out for an actual payment? No, I think that if you wanted the product, $75 the product, if it's going to help your household, why not take it? I see nothing wrong with that. Okay, and don't forget, guys, if you want to join my program and watch me step by step and get lots of videos, and I mean step-by-step videos, like there's over 17 videos just on setting up your website, not to mention, setting up a podcast and working with brands and emailing brands and doing all of that stuff and promoting yourself. Go ahead and go to indiebizchicks.com/WLE. You'll save $100 with coupon code CHI100. And the fast action bonus disappears when we get off the questions and answers. And that's getting 3 30-minute one-on-one coaching sessions with me that you can use in July, August, and September. So go ahead and grab that if you want to keep working together. Okay. So Jennifer says, what would you recommend to say as a follow-up to a campaign? Would you be straightforward and ask what upcoming campaigns they have coming up? Or a more friendly conversation checking in? Yeah, I think that either one is fine. I think that it depends on what your personality is. If you are someone who is very friendly and you are a chatty person, then go ahead and say, hey, I was just wondering, I really enjoyed working with you. I wondered if you might have some more opportunities. But if all of your communication with them has been very serious and to the point, that would seem odd. So you can literally just say, hey, I was wondering if we could work together in the fall, or whatever, however you want to word it. And you can tell them like what your editorial content might be. Like if you're working on some, if you have an editorial calendar and you know that you're going to be doing XYZ post in October and you feel that they would be a good fit, you can let them know. It's, June right now that we're talking. So you could, email someone and say, hey, listen, I know we have a few months, but I wanted to let you know that I am going to be doing this post and it's going to be published the first week of October, and it's going to be all about XYZ, and I feel that your company would be a really good fit for that. Would you like to collaborate on that? Would you, let them know, give them the 3 ideas, whether you're going to be doing a video or a how-to or a review, or however you're going to work this brand into that post. Again, be open to their ideas, but you can let them know that you have this post coming up, you think that it would be a great fit, you'd like to work with them. Do they have any interest in collaborating with you? Okay, so Jacob says, when you reach out to a brand and give them all your information, should you also mention the price that you want to charge, or should you wait for them to offer a price? You could let them know. If you have a set price and you charge that, and that's your, that's what you want to get out of it, then you can let them know, and you can even put that on your one sheet. We talked about a one sheet earlier, where we talked about, putting down, your average number of website visitors and your social media followers and all that good stuff. You can have, information on there where you say, where you can even include your editorial calendar, and you can let people know, hey, this is what I'm going to be talking about in the coming months. And then you can say, I charge X amount for a sponsored post, X amount for a video, and you can even say, this is what this package includes. And you can say that you're going to be promoting it 3 times on Twitter, 5 times on Instagram, whatever you want to do. You can put all that out there and just give it to people up front.
Okay. So I have reached the end of the questions. Does anybody else have any questions?
If you have questions, go ahead and type them in. Okay, so it looks like we are at the end. So let's see, Eileen says you added a question. I don't see your question, Eileen. Oh, wait, never mind. I found it. Okay. Here are some more questions that I just found. Okay, so where do you find these PR people? That was Z. So you can, like I said, you can go to conferences or you can find them on Twitter. So let's say you want to work with, I must be on an oatmeal kick because I'm just going to say Quaker oatmeal. It's on the top of my tongue. So you can go and you can research like Quaker oatmeal press releases. And if it says it was, it'll say who to contact on the press release. They publish their press releases. They're all out. It's all out there on Google. So you'll know that Diane at PR Company 1 released that press release. It'll say contact her. It'll say Diane at PR Company 1 or whatever. So you email her, or you find her, you just type in her name on Twitter, straight out email her. Everyone is available online. All you gotta do is do a little research. You can find anybody and anything online. So Dusty says, how do you deal with brands that just wait to send you products with no additional money because they'll keep you in mind for paid apps in the future? Well, it's up to you. If you're okay with that, if you are, if you really want whatever, let's say that you're going to work with, I don't know, let's say that you want to work with a company, a software company or Nintendo or whoever, and they're like, hey, we'll send you this game or we'll send you this new thing to review, but they're not giving you any money. If you want that game or whatever it is, or a piece of software, and they're giving it to you and you're okay with that, that's still money in your pocket because you would have to buy it otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's something that you don't even want, and if they're like, "Hey, we'll send you this," what were those like blanket things called? That they're really popular for a while. It was like a blanket that you wear. I can't even remember. It was like one of those TV commercials. Yes, a snuggly, whatever. So if they're like, hey, we'll send you like 3 of these to write a review and you don't even want that, then you just say no thanks and you don't have to deal with them. So, you either take what they're offering or, you can come back and give them an offer. You can say, I really appreciate that you wanted to send me this product, but I do need to, I do not accept, free product in the form of payment. My minimum, for a sponsored post is $150. I have another package that's $300, and that includes me posting on social media X amount of times. Would you like one of those packages? And if they say no, then that's fine. You made an offer, they made an offer. If you can't meet in the middle, then you go your separate ways. Okay, so Eileen says, when you work with a PR person or directly with a brand, do you put your agreement in writing, apart from the emails back and forth? It all depends on the brand. Some of them are going to have you sign a contract, some of them aren't. If you want them to sign a contract, you can make one and you can send it to them. It all depends on the person you're working with. If you feel that you want that, then you can ask for it. If you are comfortable not having it, then that's fine too. If the company that you're working with wants you to sign some contracts or some paperwork, then they may ask for it. Other companies may not ask for it.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. Z says she's purchased but didn't get the opportunity to enter the code. I will email you after I get off of this call. There should be a coupon code right on the order form. Like after you you go to the sales page and then you click the button, and you're gonna enter in like a name and a username so that you can access your product. And there's like a coupon code area before you put in like your payment information. But if you missed that, that's okay. I will get in touch with you and we'll figure that out. Deanna says, how did you get the collaboration with Chevy? They were doing it was the Chevy dealers in my area, and they went in on a group buy, so to speak, and they hired a PR agency, and they found me on Twitter, and they did like the geographic range, because they wanted someone. I live in Michigan, so they wanted someone who lived in mid-Michigan, because it was like several dealerships like in Saginaw, Flint, and so forth that were going in together. So they wanted someone that lived in this area, and so they found me on Twitter, and they contacted me, and I thought it was a joke at first because they emailed me, and they're like, hey, we really want to work with you. We'll give you a free car. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then they said, can we call you? So I got on a phone call and I realized they were legit. And so then we set it up with the press, and I was in the paper for it and everything. And I got the free car to drive around in, and they paid me to do different things, do fun stuff. Like they paid me to get like a pedicure and all that stuff, and I had to take pictures of it and show them all the places that I was going with my Chevy, and I had to make videos, of how to use OnStar and different things. And then, that lasted, for so long. And then for months after that, I just managed the Facebook page, and I gave away weekly giveaways and different things on the Facebook page. And they paid me $300 a month to post once a day on Facebook. And they paid me for several months of that until that contract ran out. And so Dina, I'm sorry, she says, what did your social media and website numbers look like at that time? I was a lot more active on Twitter at that time. I have not been very active on Twitter, honestly, since my niece was born. And I recently did a different class on that, because I really only worked about 10 hours a week since my niece was born 6 years ago, because I've been like the main babysitter. But I've been supporting myself on that 10 hours a week. So there's all different kinds of stuff that you can do. What niche was I in? I did the same thing, indiebizchicks.com. It's a business website. So I was not a mom blogger. I'm not a mom at all. I'm an aunt, but I don't even mention, like if you go to my Instagram, you will see pictures of my family, but I do not mention them on my website. Like in my about page I do, but other than that, I don't talk about my family on my website at all. So I am not a mom blogger. What was your number as far as social media following the website status at that time? 10,000 or so followers on Twitter. My website stats, I've never had like a huge amount of traffic like some of the mom bloggers that are getting, like it's like crazy. Like maybe I had 5,000 visitors a month, which is really low compared to like some of these mom bloggers at the time that were, because like in 2007, 2008, 2010, all that, like blogging really took off, and like everyone had a blog, and it was like I would go to BlogHer. Like, I've spoken there a few times at different BlogHer conventions, which was like the biggest blogging conference for women. And they would have these like showrooms where, brands would come in and they would be giving away stuff. And then like, this is not something that this was kind of looked down on BlogHer, but obviously brands knew where they were going to be, what city they would be in that year. And so they would rent out party space, and they would find you. Like, if you talked about BlogHer or whatever on Twitter, they would start sending you invites, and you would be able to go to all these different parties and get free stuff. And this really existed. Like, I have gone to some fashion shows and all kinds of stuff in my day from doing this. And so now, like, BlogHer isn't the same as it was before, but there's still conferences out there. So if you're going to a conference, start talking about it on social media. There are PR people out there paying attention to this stuff, wanting to know who people are talking about. And they will find you and they will say, hey, let's work together, or they'll invite you to, parties or whatever's going on in that town or that conference. Okay, you keep asking me what was my number for social media, and I told you I had like 10,000 people on Twitter, and that's how they found me. And then my website stats, that was like 5,000 a month. Okay, and so Jen says, yep, they were in Orlando a few years ago. Yeah, BlogHer still exists. It's just different. They have like a BlogHer Health every year. The original owners, they sold BlogHer to a different company. And but there are still some blogging conferences that exist, like the Mom to Mom Summit still exists. That's still out there. So there are those kind of conferences, but there's also other types of conferences and stuff like that. So, okay, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, so we are going to wrap this up. So if you do want to take advantage of the $100 coupon, go to indiebizchicks.com/WLE, and you can save that $100. You can also get the fast action bonus, where we do 3 30-minute one-on-one coaching sessions. It'll be like this. We'll meet on Zoom, and you can use those anytime, July through September. If you want to do one once a month, if you want to do one once a week, that's cool. So however you want to do that. So thank you everyone for being here. Hopefully you got some good information. Okay, someone's raising their hand, it says. So Christina is raising their hand. Honestly, I'm not sure what to do with a raised hand. If you have a question, you can go ahead and ask it. Either in the chat or in the Q&A. Okay. Christina wants to know, is the replay going to be available? It will be available. I need to upload it after we I'm recording this, and then after this call is over, I'm going to upload it to the internet, and I'm going to send out a link with the video. I'll send out a page with the video on it. Okay, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end this call. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone has a good evening. If you are on the other side of the world and it's morning where you are, then have a good morning. And I will be sending out the replay later on this evening. All right, bye-bye, everyone.